Welcome to Season 3 of the Healthy Living Doesn't Have to Suck podcast. I'm Melyssa with a Y, double board certified lifestyle medicine coach, size inclusive fitness specialist, author, and speaker dedicated to helping changemakers like you drop the struggle and create a healthy lifestyle you can love. Through my book, coaching community, online fitness studio, and corporate wellness packages, I'm here to provide the tools, strategies, and support you need to feel your best. Because when you show up as your healthiest self, you're unstoppable. All right, y'all, let's get to it. What up, changemakers? We are coming to you fresh-faced and jet-lagged from Heidelberg, Germany. I took an unexpected trip overseas with my mom. I know I mentioned in the last episode that she took a tumble and broke some of her ribs. So feasibly, her putting her luggage like on the plane overhead, like it was not going to go well. Coming to the rental car, or coming to the hotel, loading it up in the rental car. Like, so basically, I get to be her little travel assistant, which I am actually pretty good at this. I'm wondering if this is what I should be doing to make some extra side income, but I digress. It's really awesome to be here unexpectedly. I was here 2 years ago with mom, not in Heidelberg, which is where we're staying right now, but I took a trip over to Europe to visit her. And that was a very hard year. I think that was right after we lost Buddy, right after my team at the hospital was eliminated. And I was trying to figure out what life at 34 was going to look like because I did get to celebrate my birthday in Greece. And as I'm saying all this, I realize how fucking spoiled and blessed I am. So just want to acknowledge that and be very, very grateful for this opportunity because I really needed it. I really needed to just get away. I have been in such a rut myself this year. And part of that is how much of a hit like my ego, I think, has taken. Actually, I don't think it's my ego. I think it's my self confidence and like my belief in myself because this year has just felt like blow after blow after blow, where like anytime I am first like trying to pick myself back up again after life knocks me down, they come in with the sucker punch and just put me right back on the ground. And it's been rough. I'm not going to lie. I still have hope. I still choose to remain optimistic, but, or I'll say, and I'll remain optimistic and also acknowledge that there is a lot of craziness going on in the world right now. There are a lot of people who are also struggling. I know I mentioned it in the last episode, but even like within my circles, people are just experiencing such crazy circumstances in their lives of just unexpected illnesses, diagnoses, setbacks, all of these different things that I guess are just part of life, but given the stress and the overwhelm of trying to consider everything else that's happening in the world, it's a lot more. It feels like a lot more. It feels very heavy out there right now. And I'm hoping that listening to this episode will lift your spirits a bit, bring you a little bit of hope and light and laughter, while also acknowledging that you might be going through some shit. And that's okay. It's okay. What do I say in the book? You can sit in the suck, but don't get stuck. And so that is what I feel like this trip is really bringing to me is an opportunity to get unstuck from a lot of the things that I've been experiencing lately in life, in business, in relationships, in social circles, in just like all different aspects of life. And I guess that leads me into one of the things that I love doing for my birthdays. It's something that I started just a couple of years ago, but I always love coming up with some sort of like theme for the year ahead. I got to be honest, last year I chose the theme Strive to Thrive in 2025. And somehow that has just turned into Manage to Survive 2025. So I also feel like that was the theme for me being 35. Which, funny story, I don't know if this has happened to anyone else, but this whole last year,
I think the wedding chaos really threw me off, but this whole year I've been thinking that I'm 36. I was actually 35. I just turned 36. Yeah. On 11/11. It's always my birthday, obviously, and it's the book's birthday too. So the book just turned 3 years old, which I'm so excited about. The audiobook has been out for a year now, and all of that relates to this theme that I'm trying to bring in for being 36. So for 36, my kind of theme or mantra or words that I am just trying to carry into this new year, this new chapter of life. The first one is consistency. There has just that word has been showing up so much in this past year, and I haven't really leaned into it or embraced it as much as I would like to. And I think it's honestly something that I've been missing, not just for my life and my own routines, which I desperately need. I've been calling it structure. I've been calling it structure this year. And honestly, I just think it is consistency. I need consistency in how things kind of unfold throughout the week. I need consistency with the types of meals that I'm eating and how I prepare them. I need consistency with just showing up online, and that kind of leads into the second word that I that I have been playing around with. I think I think the word or the phrase that leads from consistency into bold action, bold action. So basically saying fuck it to like whatever people think. Oh, that's something. I ordered Mel Robbins' book, The Let Them Theory, because I need it in paperback. And that's something that I'm looking forward to reading when I get back because I did not order it in time for it to be delivered before my trip, but that's okay. Um, so bold action, and what that means to me is just having a like, I don't give a fuck attitude. I'm just going to do it anyway. And I think this will be very helpful for me because I noticed that I have not done a good job promoting the book this year. And that showed when I looked at my numbers. I mean, I say it in my networking groups, I share about it online occasionally, but truly just being like obnoxious and in your face about it is like where I'm at right now. Because when I check my numbers this year between the ebook and the paperback, I hadn't looked at the audiobook, the ebook and the paperback, I had only sold 22 copies. And let me reframe that because 22 is still pretty decent for the lack of commitment I had to like consistently promoting it. So I am very grateful to the 22 copies that were purchased, but I also recognize that like I I would like to just take bold action to show up online, to show up for my business and just take bold action. Like one of the things that I'm thinking about right now is just emailing the CEO of Southwest Airlines because I really do feel like my lifestyle medicine makeover program would be a perfect fit for their company vibe and culture and things like that. And I have messaged a handful of people on LinkedIn, but like what if I just emailed the CEO? Like what if his executive assistant probably scans his inbox? But what if? Like what if that happened? And what if it was because I didn't care like what the thought was? Maybe he thinks, "Oh my gosh, this girl is ridiculous if she thinks that the CEO of this international airline is going to bring her brand new program to my employees." Like that could be, but like what if it's not? But I'm never going to know if I don't take that bold action. So that is something that I am stepping into is consistency, bold action, and the last one that I wanna say I had this for 35, but the last one that I would really like to lean into is intentionality. I had taken my social media apps off of my phone for a good couple weeks, and it was blissful. But I also noticed I wasn't showing up online for my business, which is where a lot of my audience is. And I wasn't providing the value that I want to and showing up and connecting with my audience there. And I try to do it from my desktop. I try to do it from my iPad. The iPad actually works fairly well. The one thing I'll say is video editing on there is the worst. So there's pros and cons to it, but I that is all to say I recognized how mindlessly I had just been falling into that trap of opening my phone, checking my emails, going to social, scrolling, getting stuck in the doom scroll. And it was just so uplifting to not have that pattern, to not be stuck in that rut. And that is a lot of what 2025 has felt like for me, is just being stuck in a rut financially, emotionally, occupationally. Like when I did my wellness wheel lately, y'all, which is an activity from the book. So you can get a free download of the wellness wheel activity at healthylivingdoesn'thavetosuck.com/wellness. And it was very eye-opening to see what my readings were for some of those life areas, because I had so much hope going into this year. I was like, this is the year. This is the year that things are going to turn around. And there's been some good stuff that has also happened this year, but for the most part, this year has been very, very heavy. And there's growth in those places, right? Because it has been very uncomfortable. Had to do a lot of things that never thought I would need to worry about or have to do. And it's just like there's no handbook for how to navigate what life throws at us. So it's just figuring it out as we go. And I think with intentionality, one of the big things that I would love to be better about is intentionality with my friendships and relationships. Like that is something that this year really opened my eyes with, recognizing that I just feel very disconnected. And oh man, it's felt very lonely this year. And I'm thinking that part of the reason for that was because, leading up to the wedding, we're putting information out there, we're keeping in touch with friends and family to give them updates. And then afterwards, it's just been pretty hard. Yeah. I wasn't expecting to talk about this in this way, but we're here. And I think it's just been lonely and overwhelming and defeating this year, but I know it's going to get better. I know it's going to get better, but it's also going to take me making changes to make things better. So, trying to be a lot more intentional about just connecting with people, spending quality time. Quality time is like, well, there's only 5 love languages. I was gonna say my top 3 love languages, but there's only 5. But it's like a close tie between physical touch, quality time, and words of affirmation for me. Like, those 3 are all very, like, up there. Although I don't mind, like, receiving gifts. I love that. I'm horrible at giving gifts, although I love giving gifts, but I just, again, get in my head and I'm like, "What if they don't like it?" Uh, so maybe I just need to start somewhere, right? Start somewhere. And I think having consistency with planning out when to send birthday cards. I feel like I've talked about this since I started the podcast, but I always love receiving birthday cards and things like that in the mail, like the snail mail. And our friend Kristen is so good at this. So shout out to you, Kristen, because like it truly makes me smile. Like I think I've gotten a card from you for like girlfriend's day or something, like friendship day, something like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like that's so thoughtful. And handwritten notes, I feel like, are just a lost art. And it's something that even doing the wedding thank yous, like just spending time in that space of gratitude was so nice. And I would love to do more of that and be intentional about it going into this next year. So me with my, coaching hat on, trying to look back at things that have worked well for me in the past. Something I think I need to do is just maybe look at my list of birthdays for the whole year coming up and go get cards now. Like, go get cards now so I'm not having to go to the store and try to decide and pick which one. Like, I just need to go get all the cards for all the people for the year 2026 coming up. And then maybe I don't write the cards right away, but like I get them addressed, I get them stamped. So that way all I have to do is go write, my little note of gratitude and appreciation for the person for their birthday, put it in the envelope, like slam it shut, not slam it, seal it with love, and then send it on its merry way, right? So that all of that comes together to just really emphasize how important it is for us to take the time to slow down and reflect on where we are in our life right now, and also allow ourselves to dream about what we want our lives to look like. Because until we take that time and space to identify where we're starting now and where we want to be, we're not going to be able to clearly see where those mismatches are. And for me, it actually took me being in the coaching seat to really recognize that a sense of belonging was something that I haven't felt in a very long time, and trying to think about like what contributed to that. Like, what where are those places where I feel like I belong? Like, I feel like I'm part of the group. Like, I feel like I just mesh very well versus like awkwardly standing out. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some circles where I do wanna, like, stand out, right? I wanna stand out in places where people are thinking, "Oh, we really need to, like, jazz up our employee health and well-being offers. Hey, that Melissa with a Y chick looks really fun, and she's very knowledgeable and very personable and entertaining, like, let's bring her in." Right? So those are the types of places that I do wanna stand out. Um but standing out doesn't necessarily mean that you don't belong in those circles too. Whoa, okay, we're going on a bit of a tangent here. Let's bring it back, reel it back in. Um, so I think something that I would love for you to take away from this episode is, one, like, we're all going through some tough stuff. It doesn't matter what that looks like right now. But like, just find some ways to connect with support resources, whether that's friends, family, therapists, counselors, coaches, like whatever that looks like for you. Acknowledge that, like, it's okay to ask for help. Asking for help should be the just norm, right? It should be the norm for us to recognize, like, hey, I'm struggling with XYZ. Like, I should call so and so, or I should connect with this resource. But alas, we're making progress. It's not necessarily, I feel like, the standard right now for us to default to that, but hopefully it will be in the future. Um, but an example of even just asking for support was, I I blasted all of my social media channels about like my birthday and the book. I was like, all I want for my birthday is for you to go buy my ebook. Like, the ebook is on sale. Oh, actually, here's a plug. The ebook is on sale right now for 99 cents on Amazon. 99 cents. $1 on Amazon. So all you need to do is you just need to go onto Amazon, search Healthy Living Doesn't Have to Suck. Once the page comes up, select the ebook or the Kindle or whatever the little square is that gives you the options between ebook, paperback, audiobook. Select the ebook one, and it should be a dollar. A dollar. You don't have to sign up for a Kindle like membership. You could just outright buy the book. Then all you need to do is download the Kindle app, and then the book is right there. Even if you never plan on reading the book, just buying the book helps my rankings on Amazon, It helps it to find other people who might be looking for a book like mine, but don't know that my book exists. So it's just a very small, simple action that can have so much of an impact for me and my small business. So I put my head down, cranked out some content, set out the email newsletter, made my Facebook post because as soon as people started wishing me happy birthday on Facebook, I was like, guys, I appreciate this. I really do. But you just please go by my, like, take the time that you would spend on Facebook typing out like happy birthday, Melissa, and like go buy it off of Amazon and like send me a picture or comment a picture of like your order that was placed. That is the best way that you could wish me happy birthday this year because I cannot tell you the number of times that I have considered giving up. Like every entrepreneur has that burn it all down mode that comes up at some point in time. And this year it's honestly just felt like it's every other week, if not every other day. Some days, especially when I look at like the bank account dwindling and the bills rising and it's just like, "Oh, um, why am I doing this again?" And I'm doing this because I know and I believe that this book can change people's lives. That the book that I birthed, that I poured my heart and soul and blood, sweat and tears into, I truly believe it could change the world. My big, hairy, audacious goal, a BHAG, if you will. Forget who coined that term, but I think about it all the time because I do love having those really ambitious goals. And my big, hairy, audacious goal is to change a million people's lives with my book, my programs, my coaching, podcast. And that's what keeps me going. So, one of the best things that happened to me this week was asking for feedback from my members to say, like, hey, I'm getting ready for Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you're on my email list if you're not already, because those are going to be coming in like the next week or so. Next 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, what day is it? The 14th. Okay. Yes, 2 weeks away. I feel like I've been in a time warp since we got off the plane. Um, but like it was such a reassuring moment for me to again ask for support from my members to share with me like how the membership has helped them, how being part of this community that I'm cultivating through the Changemaker Collective has helped them with their own lifestyle change journey. Like, what are the things that they've accomplished? What do they find the most benefit from being in the group? How has the app supported their goals? Just anything I felt like that could just be proof of concept for me to say, like, Melissa, this is working. This will work. I know you want to build your membership, but right now, it's about just focusing on getting myself back in alignment, really trying to drown out those voices that are telling me I can't do it or that I need to move on or that I'm not worthy enough to accomplish my biggest dreams and desires that there's so many. I could keep going, but you get the gist. Like all of those voices in my head that have sometimes been like confirmed out loud by people in my life to just drown out the noise and focus on taking that bold action, just staying in my lane, staying focused, and remembering that there's people like you out there who are listening who just need to feel like they're being seen, who need to feel like they're understood in the challenges that they faced in trying to create these healthy lifestyle habits, in knowing that there's someone out there like me who gets it. Like, even after all of this training that I've had and all of these fancy certifications, like, I understand what it's like. I get you. I have really bad body image days, probably more days than not lately. And it is constant effort and energy to not let myself get all caught up in that negative self-talk and those unhelpful voices that are just trying to beat me down when I need to lift myself up, when I need to be empowered to keep going. I need to focus on still continuing to take action that is in alignment with my goals, regardless of what those thoughts are trying to tell me. Because we can be our own worst enemies. I know I say that a lot, but if we choose to let those thoughts come up and keep us stuck, we're never going to bust out of this rut. Woo! Okay. Where should we go from here? I feel like that was a lot. But ultimately, when you are looking at your life right now, if it doesn't look the way that you want it to look, that's okay. And you should actually be excited to recognize that because you have now just taken the first and probably the biggest step towards making change, towards figuring out, like, whoa, first of all, how did we get here? Because I am not happy with where we're at right now. This is not good. This is not okay. And that allows you to then figure out, okay, well, what would I want my life to look like? How would my best life look right now? And who do I need to be to turn that vision into my reality? What steps do I need to do? What goals do I need to set to help me clear the path and figure out how to get from point A, where we're starting, to point B, where we're dreaming of being? And yes, there are the ups, downs, the all arounds that you could have the best laid plans in the world, and life just decides to show up and be like, gotcha. Like, you thought you were going to achieve this goal on this timeline? Nope, that ain't happening. So you gotta roll with the punches. You have to hang on to that vision. You have to hang on to that vision of what you want your life to look like and know that it's possible for you. Even amongst the tough stuff, you have the strength, you have the resilience, you have the determination within you already to get you from where you're at now to that vision. And I'd love to help you get there. I'd love to help you along the way. Or I'd love to hear about where you're at right now and where you want to be, because life is hard. Life is really hard sometimes. And life is still beautiful. There's still a lot of really good things that we can find in the world, that we can create in the world. And that is what we have to hold on to. You have to keep the hope. You have to keep the faith. You have to keep on keeping on, y'all. A lot easier said than done most days, but ultimately, that's what we have to do. We have to get through the tough stuff. We're going to grow through what we go through. I forget who said that, but I do love that quote. We grow through what we go through. So just know that this is a temporary chapter in your life. It is going to get better. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end this podcast and wrap it up because I'm sure I could keep rambling, but I'm hoping that there is something you can take away from today's episode to just make you feel seen, to make you feel heard, to make you feel connected and less alone in life right now. And just to keep in mind that you are strong enough to face what life is throwing at you, whatever that looks like. We may not feel it some days, and I'm here to remind you that you are. You can do this. You got this. And we've got you too. So thank you all for tuning in. And I really, 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 really appreciate all of your support. I'm going to plug it again because old action, here we are. We are just showing up. We are being visible. We are asking for help and support. Now through November 17th, the audiobook is still on sale for only 99 cents on Audible. You can gift it to someone. You can purchase the paperback or the audiobook still that is still helpful. But like, honestly, that would be the best way to just continue the happy birthday wishes going. And you know what? We're going to throw this in there too. November 17th is Matt and my first wedding anniversary. So if you would like to gift us a wedding anniversary present, I'm not speaking for him, but for me, it would mean a lot if you bought a copy of the book, the ebook, the audiobook, and even one step more than that, share that you bought it. Share online that you just bought this book to help you prepare for your New Year's resolutions and setting yourself a strong foundation, even through the holidays, to have some healthier holidays and kick off 2026 with even more energy and healthier habits and an unstoppable mindset, y'all. That's ultimately what you'll find in the book. And so I hope I can help you get there. And I appreciate in advance all of your support. When you share on social media, please make sure to tag us at Healthy Living Doesn't Have to Suck. We are on Instagram. I'm on TikTok again. Consistency. I'm trying to show up there every day, just posting stuff about the book, about life. So I'm on those places and LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, a little bit, more formal content since kind of speaking to business audience, but it's still me. It's still me there, y'all. It's just a little more polished, still sassy, but we got to tailor to the audiences that are on those platforms. So Instagram and TikTok, we're going to get raw and real on there, y'all. So that's where you can show up there. And in LinkedIn, we're still real, but we're a little bit more polished on there, polished and professional, but still fun. So, okay, we got to wrap up. Thank you so much. I love you all. You are the most amazing humans that have ever blessed this planet. And I hope that you remember that. And if not, I'm here to tell you that it's true. So you do you, boo. And thank you. Keep it real, stay positive, and go be your badass self. I'll catch you next time.
As a quick, friendly reminder, the information in these podcasts are always strictly for educational purposes only. Thanks so much for listening, Changemakers. And if you can please remember to head to your favorite podcast platform and subscribe, rate, and review. It will help this podcast reach other changemakers so they can start listening and tuning in each week.